my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a decadent chocolate delicious cake, and that's called the rich chocolate brownie. It's a favorite at home and it's my favorite tea time cake too. I'm going to show you an eggless version today that is made with the flax meal egg replacer. So without wasting any time, let's dive right in to see how to make this rich chocolate brownies. So to begin making the rich chocolate brownies, I'm going to be using dark chocolate. It has more than 50% cocoa in it. I'm going to be melting the dark chocolate in butter and until it becomes completely melted. So let's just do that. To begin melting the dark chocolate, I have here with me some water that is boiling, and I'm going to use the double boiler method. So I've placed the dark chocolate in a saucepan, and to this I'm going to add in the butter. We're going to melt the chocolate and the butter in the saucepan until it becomes a nice, smooth, runny chocolate mixture. Or maybe less. You could also do this in a microwave by opening and closing it frequently and melting the butter and the chocolate. Notice that the chocolate has melted completely and has got a saucy texture. At this stage, I'm going to keep the chocolate aside and allow it to cool a little bit. I don't want it to be too hot while I'm making the brownies. So I'm going to keep it aside, and we'll proceed, once it cools down, we'll proceed to mix up the brownies. Now that we have our chocolate melted and slightly cooled, I'm going to mix up all the ingredients. There's no need of whisking and getting a particular texture. So to begin making the eggless brownies, you need the flax meal egg replacer. Please check the link on my website to see how to make a flax meal replacer. It's really cool. And very egg-like consistency once it sits for about 15 to 20 minutes, and it's just perfect for making eggless cakes. So let's begin. Into my bowl, I'm going to add in the brown sugar, also known as the demerara sugar. It's just perfect for brownies because it's got a rich dark color. And the flax meal egg replacer. You can also use regular eggs instead of flax meal egg replacer. Just mix. Once it's combined, I'm going to add in a pinch of salt and the baking powder is purely optional, but I like to add a little bit so the cake has a little bit of air. The brownie has a little bit of air, and some vanilla essence for flavor. Then the chocolate sauce that we melted along with butter. We'll add in the flour and the cocoa powder. The toasted walnuts. All you have to do is to stir all the ingredients together until everything is just well combined. And you'll have a nice gooey mixture, which we will put it into a baking tray and then bake it in the oven. So let's just wait until it's combined. The warmness of the chocolate mixture will actually thicken up the brownie mixture. Notice that it's thickened up. That's it. And now we will set up our baking tray to place the brownies in. Now the most important thing to bake any cake or a brownie is to grease your cake pan. I'm going to be using a square cake pan. And to the cake pan, add in the butter. Make sure that you grease it with a lot of butter or even oil if you're vegan and you don't want to use butter. And make sure that all the sides, the bottom, is well greased. Into this, I'm going to add in the flour and get a tray below. You can do this essentially under a sink and just tap it so that all the flour gets well coated onto the greased cake pan. And once you're done, to tap out the excess flour, just drop the cake pan down and you will just have just the right amount of flour sticking to the butter. So now the cake pan is greased and ready for baking. Now that we have our greased cake pan, I'm going to pour in the cake batter into the pan. Spread the brownie batter into the cake pan until it's evenly distributed around it. And we will now bake brownie in the preheated oven, which has been preheating at 180 degrees centigrade for about 25 to 40 minutes. And this depends from oven to oven. So I'm going to put it into the oven. Now that the brownie is baked for about 30-35 minutes, I'm going to test the brownie with a tester. You can use a knife or a toothpick. I'm going to insert the knife in to make sure that the brownie is tested. And if nothing sticks to your tester, then the brownie is done. But if you do have a few crumbs like this, it is okay as long as it's not raw. I hope you enjoyed watching the video recipe of how to make the rich chocolate decadent brownies. Do give this recipe a try in your kitchen. And when you do not forget to share your feedback in the comments below. I'd love to hear back from you. Until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.